everybody, welcome to another Journal with Me video. I am going to be working on 3 different layouts today, the first of which is going to be in my memory keeping kind of archived journal. And I'm just showing you the pieces that I've pulled from my personal stash to use. Now I've got some botanical pictures, some bird pictures from old books that I have found at the Goodwill, and then these gardening pages from an old gardening book from like the 30s. And I'm just going to fussy cut all the images that I like and move on. So there you saw the lighting kind of changed a little bit while I sat there and fussy cut all these images out. And yeah, these are the items that I'm going to be working with. Right there I'm showing you that my paper trimmer just chewed that old paper up and I'm so angry about it. I need to change the blade on that thing because it did not get along well with that paper. So I've pulled out my dirty planner here, which I've showed you in my 2019 planner roundup thing, like the journals that I plan on using. And sorry about the lighting change again. I had to walk away because 3 kids. So yeah, I'm just choosing some postage stamps there that I want to use that kind of go with the color scheme of everything that I've kind of fussy cut out, and I'm just going to start throwing things down. I have no rhyme or reason. I didn't pre-plan any of this before I started filming. I just cut everything out and just went for it. So these journal with me videos seem to be my most popular, and I really do like doing them. First of all, I love doing this like personally. I just really love the act of putting paper onto paper and making it look pretty. It's therapeutic for me and I really love that aspect of it, but I also really love sharing it. And I'll be honest, and I hope this doesn't sound conceited, but I actually go back and watch a lot of my videos because I get a lot of inspiration watching back the way that I've done things already when I get into like a dry spell, or if I get into a funk or a fog and I just don't have that creative desire. If I can't find anything that is suiting my particular style on YouTube, I will watch my own videos back. And I think that's why I like recording them so much, is because not only do I inspire others, which is my number one goal, that is the only point to doing these, is to inspire others, but I inspire myself too. So that's really fun. And I hope that doesn't sound conceited. I don't mean it to be. I just love doing them, and it seems to be the most popular on my channel, my Journal With Me videos. I think they're pretty much popular on everybody's channel just because they are so fun to watch, especially when you're laying in bed exhausted and you just are completely drained of all energy, but you want to be creative. That's usually my whole thing, is I'll watch these videos when I want to be creative, but I just can't seem to find the energy or time, and then these usually get me in the mood. So yeah, I've just glued a bunch of things down. I don't think I need a whole bunch of explanation of that. These are some old sunflower petals from my garden from the springtime last year, and I've had them drying since then. I usually clip the flowers right before they start to die because I don't want them to brown while they're drying, and a couple of the petals did, but most of them stayed true to the yellow color, which is nice. And yeah, I just put them in a really thick, heavy book and put a bunch of more big, thick, heavy books on top of them and then forget about them. And then I can pull them out and use them in Happy Mail or my journals like this. So yeah. Now, sneak peek for next week, but if you have been following me for a while, you know when I get things in the mail, I usually try to save as much of the packaging as I can to put into these journals. And there were 3 things. There was a washi paperclip, which I moved to the top right, and then the airmail, and then the magnolia stamp that I got in my stationery selection kit for January. And I just threw them in there during the week so I wouldn't lose them, because if I try to save these pieces of ephemera, I'll put them in a bin or a bowl, and then I won't pull them out when I'm actually doing this, when I do my layouts or whatever. So I just put them in the journals as it comes in the mail, and then just kind of work around that when I'm decorating it at the end of the week or sometimes at the end of the month. But yeah, anyway, now I've moved on to my personal journal. This is just a journal that I can go more into detail about what is going on in our lives. Now, I don't use this for deep, dark, heavy things. I don't really journal that way just because my personality doesn't hold on to deep, dark, heavy things. I tend to release those emotions pretty quickly. I can talk to my husband about it and then move on. So this is just in my mind, I kind of imagine like my children going back and reading about their lives and reading about what we did and just kind of learning about their childhood again, because most children don't remember their childhood. And so I do this with that kind of in mind. I would love to be able to have a journal that my mom kept and look back at my childhood and remember things from maybe her perspective, or just kind of not even from her perspective per se, but just like a general synopsis of what we did generally. And so that's why I do that. I don't really put a whole lot of thought or work or effort. Sorry, I dropped my little microphone here. I don't put a whole lot of work or thought or effort into the writing. The more of what I do is for the creative aspect of it, because that's what's therapeutic for me right now in this moment. That's why I do it, for a creative outlet for me, but I also do it, in the future with hopes that my kids might be interested in it. I doubt it. I have 3 boys, and boys aren't interested in stuff like that, and I can hope maybe one day that their wives or their children would care, but I don't think boys really care about what their moms write. So, well, I don't know. We'll see. The reason I was pointing to that particular piece of paper there is because it didn't have January on it at all. It was more of like a spring planting guide. So I'm just going to save that for later in the year when it gets warmer and when we start our gardening and when it seems relative to the journaling that I might be doing. I don't know why I chose these gardening pages, because it is January and it is pretty cold right now in Florida, which is very, very strange. But I don't know. I just felt like pulling things from my stash. If you've been following me for a while, usually what I use in these journals is everything I get in the mail from my pen pals. But I've been working on cleaning and destashing my office for the better part of a month now. And I keep finding all these things, and I just want to start using the stuff that I have in my stash, because a lot of it is just, it's just too good to sit. And, yeah, I send a lot of it off, but I also hoard a lot of it, and I need to get better at just using what I've got. So that's what I've decided to do. Now, this picture on the right, it was really beautiful and quite big. And it had a lot of empty space at the top, and I didn't really have a plan for what I wanted to put there, so I just found this vintage transportation ticket and kind of glued it there. And now I'm kind of looking around like, what can I use to kind of bring more color to this side? So I bring in these Midori stickers, which I hadn't used up to this point, and then I end up bringing in a couple of the dried flowers. I'm looking at like the layouts and thinking, am I done? What have I done here that I haven't done back here? What does this need? And in the end, I decided to put some dried flowers in because they're beautiful. And if I have them sitting on my desk for too long, they're just going to get lost. They're going to blow onto the carpet and get vacuumed up. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to put them into the journals as quickly as possible so I don't lose them, because they are really pretty. So I'm just going to use my planner glue pen to glue these flowers down. And I know that probably a lot of you are like cringing, like, oh my God, what is she doing? But they don't pull, they don't rip, they don't fall apart, and they hold really well. And I like using my planner glue pen. So that's what I use, and I haven't had any issues with them in the past. So yeah, I like it. I'm feeling satisfied with what I've done so far, and I'm going to show you some close-ups of everything. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave them down below. Feel free, and I would encourage you to subscribe so you can continue to see some inspiring videos. And yeah, I hope you like it. I will catch you guys next time. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.